People are going to see the child tax credit the way they see Social Security. Republicans have never liked Social Security, but they can't get rid of it. They don't like the child tax credit. They all voted against it, but we're going to stand strong. No work requirements and continue this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sherrod Brown. All right, it is bath salt time here on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Hey
Steve
there.
Austin and Jamie Summers are eating each other's faces. I have my Stand With Schiff t-shirt on for Chairman Schiff coming up in a few minutes. I have a wardrobe change. I have two. You might think it's okay. I don't.
Are you going to change on camera?
Sure. I have my show prep that Colonel Steve Austin ate earlier for my interview with the #1 New York Times best-selling author, Chairman Adam Schiff, coming up in just a few minutes.
It'd be a shame if your bath salts eating dog mauled you before you got to Adam Schiff.
Yeah, that would be.
Somehow this interview is not going to go like the Rachel Maddow interview went, which was magic.
Is it just because her dogs aren't there?
Well,
her dogs are trained.
I don't believe that she preceded the Adam Schiff interview with a story about bear oral sex, but I'm going to, because now a story about a bear.
Wait, what?
This seems the part of the show when we talk about just the coming climate change apocalypse and the animal related.
Right.
We're going to lose a bookie.
Yesterday, otters overtaking Singapore, and then what else? Oh, wild boars and monkeys.
And now bears beating.
Well, someone said, I'm going to blind you with science now.
I'm not going to trust the source.
I feel like all of this behavior, Jody, is related to just the general craziness in the world.
Yes.
Right? Science! Climate change, more just general craziness. I blame Facebook. I don't know. But science has figured out why bears go on each other. I don't know what to bleep there.
Bears go what?
Well, it's the headline.
Oh,
so
like the arrow that's pointing.
Right. Would you like some fun facts? Okay. An article was published in the journal Zoo Biology, written by a Croatian team of biologists who had studied captive bears over the course of 10 years. Presumably, the long-term study had a lot of takeaways that deserved to be published, but this one, about one male bear, the provider, giving the other, the receiver, thousands of jobs.
What?
Hang on a second, where's my... over the 10-year period is obviously the most pressing. The two brown bears grew up in captivity, and while we have to take the scientists at their word that they never intervened and taught them how to, go on each other,
you never know.
It seems safe to assume the bears developed the behavior on their own. They write that the bears engaged in recurrent fellatio multiple times per day until at least 10 years old.
Maybe a lonely zookeeper found another lonely zookeeper and did it in front of them.
No, there's a reason. Males, well, here's another fun fact, Jody. Males have a spiked, barbed penis that they literally stab into the female, and they don't stab it anywhere near her vagina. They stab it anywhere in her body, and the sperm simply migrates through her hemum life to her ovaries.
That seems terribly inefficient.
That's survival of the fittest.
Not hot if you're a female bear.
Is that what happened to Leo DiCaprio?
I don't know.
In The Revenant?
Ground squirrels, for instance, comparatively, appear to autofellate after sexual contact in order to prevent sexually transmitted infections. Male fruit bats give oral sex to females in the hopes of longer copulations so the female won't leave during the act.
Aw, that's nice.
Don't leave.
The Croatian...
That's sweet.
Don't leave.
That's sweet.
Well, I think it would be more like, don't leave. Until I'm finished copulating. The Croatian paper comes to a depressing conclusion. It is not natural. They had been orphaned since before they could even nurse, and one of the bears looked like it had decided the other bear's penis looked enough like a mother's nipple. Mm-hmm. Right. The provider bear kept sucking the receiver bear's until it reached sexual maturity, at which time it realized it was a lucky bear and the behavior never had any reason to stop, so they just continued.
But it's barbed. How painful would that be?
Jobs.
How painful would that be?
No, I don't think the bear ever said stop that. Said, bear, keep eating my kayak. Is that what the kids are calling it?
Well, did we just create a new euphemism?
We did.
Take that, Rachel Maddow. You didn't precede your Adam Schiff interview with that, did you?
Adam Schiff's on the line. He would like to cancel the interview.
I'm like literally checking my emails right now.
All right. Anita in San Antonio. Hello. Class this joint back up again.
Help.
Good morning.
All right.
We should all be bears.
What's that?
Hello. We should all be bears.
Yes.
We should all be
We
so
should.
lucky to be a bear.
Okay.
A female bear.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to talk. I heard also that this thing about they couldn't tie the insurrection to the planning, but it doesn't make any sense to me because the Eastman memo said there had to be a delay, right? And the whole purpose of the insurrection was to delay the electoral vote, right?
Right.
Yeah, to physically delay it so
people-
they could do the rest of their plan. It was all interconnected.
Exactly. And the people that spoke at that rally right beforehand were mostly, there was a lot of the people that were there in the planning session. And I mean, Mo Brooks was wearing that body armor.
Right.
They knew something was going down. Why
And
did
Anita,
they know that?
I was saying Kelly Ward, the Arizona GOP woman, when they had to stop, obviously, in the height of the insurrection, she tweeted, what was it, Travis? I don't have the story right in front of me, but she tweeted, okay, time to send it back to the states.
Yeah.
Congress
Yeah.
is adjourned. Time to, this was all part of the plan.
It was all, Lauren Boebert tweeted something like 1776 or is here or something like that.
And they've removed the
They've all-
speaker. So, she said the speaker's location in the middle of the, give me a break.
Yeah, and they messed with that that Congresswoman's emergency.
Ayanna Pressley.
call.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ayanna
the
Pressley.
panic
There
buttons
was
in
so
Ayanna
much-
Presley's office. Yeah.
It seems to me they could tie it pretty easily, but
Yeah.
why would they have the insurrection if they weren't going to, if it wasn't tied to the plan?
Yes,
the
it was
Eastman
not
plan?
spontaneous in any way.
Right.
They had T-shirts printed.
Right.
Yes, Travis.
No, but we've also seen from the subpoenas that the January 6th committee has put out, they are weeks ahead of us. They know more than we do.
They do.
So they probably have security footage from the offices to see who was ripping out panic buttons.
I've learned to read Adam Schiff's face from many, many interviews.
He's don't play poker with him.
Oh.
Do not
going
play
to stare
poker with that
direct-
man. You've offered him to get drunk to give us information, and he still won't do that.
Eventually he will
Mr.
blink.
Mr. Chairman. Okay. Yeah, but there's slight eye movements. There's ways you can. Okay.
Oh, there's the cancellation.
All right.
Just kidding.
Oh, so it wasn't the bear BJ
No,
story?
never the bear.
No, the bear BJs are fine. What he wants to
This jazz congressman
wants
loves
to avoid.
nature.
The bear's on our state flag, so of course
yes.
he'd be in favor of it.
Now
course.
that we're screwed, could you take your organ out for me, please? Thank you.
God.
Yeah, it's all. I'm telling you, it's all the same kind of language, Jody. A Knoxville, Tennessee-based preacher who is one of the leaders of the Patriot Church movement warned that followers of the more militant version of Christianity are losing patience because Trump has not been reinstalled in the Oval Office. Pastor Ken Peters said followers don't want to resort to violence, but will if that's what's needed to reclaim the White House. Oh, okay. If the truth is suppressed and covered up, then that will ultimately lead to violence. It could end up bad. A lot of things could end up rough and violent. We hope it doesn't, but we can't be so afraid of a violent outcome that we allow the left to cheat their way to destroying the country. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay. This kind of rhetoric is ramping up just more and more, right? Secession and, Dennis Prager just said it like, oh, well, we may just have to have a civil war and a secession. It's okay.
It's a church advocating violence because God wants Donald Trump to be president?
Right. Right.
The last time states seceded, it didn't go very well.
No.
No, it did not.
So also, I guess they've enabled people to just be a jerk all the time about everything, and there's no low of awful. Did you see Donald Trump Jr. is hawking Alec Baldwin kills people t-shirts?
Yeah.
He is hawking t-shirts that say guns don't kill people, Alec Baldwin kills people. On his Instagram, he has a Photoshop picture of the actor wearing one of the t-shirts. It's been 3-4 days since this tragedy.
Over the weekend,
occurred, something. Right. Right. So, and by the way, the cinematographer's father does not blame Alec Baldwin.
Of course not.
He instead blamed the film's prop team for handing Baldwin a dangerous loaded gun. But it's just there is no too low, right?
Apparently, according to the Wrap this morning, the prop masters were taking the prop guns and taking them out for target practice.
That morning,
yeah.
And Baldwin
There should never be live
Alec
ammo
Baldwin
anywhere
was
near a set.
specifically handed the gun and told it's
It was a cold gun.
Right.
And so he was rehearsing what he was supposed to do in the scene, and it's all a tragedy.
Yeah.
But
It is.
But you knew the second it happened, you're like, oh, the right's going to just make
Of
this
course.
awful, and yeah.
Just a thought for Donald Trump Jr. Can we make a shirt that said, we could make a shirt that said, my dad killed X number of people, but the number
Right.
keeps going up and changing.
Right, like the McDonald's sign or
Yeah.
something. Okay, speaking of awful people, Matt Gaetz is hemorrhaging campaign money ahead of the 2022 election.
Yay.
It's weird, Travis. Donations took a significant decline after news of the unresolved sex scandal, which, wow, there might be a low too low for some Republican donors. That's new. I guess they're just going to take a looky-see attitude to see whether he's going to prison, for...